Hey guys, welcome back to the Intersect podcast. Today, episode 29. We get Kassie on. She's a teacher and has been since the end of 24. No more alcohol. Like it done.
She gave herself a challenge of 100 days and she's at 75 now and she's been doing amazing and she's learnt so much about herself within that time and she shares some of those pivotal moments with us for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure you give us a like, a follow, a subscribe and rate us on Spotify.
Yeah, and if not, that's fine. We just appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely.
So with all that said, please enjoy the episode. Peace.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, give us a bit of a brief description of yourself.
Like just me in general.
Yeah, so why you wanted to come onto the podcast and talk about your story.
Okay. I gave up drinking at the end of last year.
Yep.
Just to more kind of like a challenge for myself, especially being Australian and the social culture that it is.
Yep.
And I kind of just more did it for my mental health, and it wasn't really aligning with the choices I wanted to make for myself anymore. So I set myself a goal for 100 days and I'm about 75.
Yeah.
And it's actually been pretty life-changing.
Yeah, okay. So how have you found it with your mental health?
It's really changed my mental health in the way this is the first time in probably about 8 years since having kids that I've worked full-time. And I started working full-time this year, and I don't think if I was drinking, more like binge drinking, not drinking constantly, but that culture of binge drinking and the Sunday scaries and that whole, I guess, without being too heavy, that self-loathing pattern, what it brings and how much it's kind of changed my outlook and my ability to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would probably say you have more of a clear thinking pattern
definitely.
now.
Yeah.
What was it like so before I get into all the nitty-gritty stuff, what made you want to stop?
Just I was in that cycle of the you get to the weekend, you'd binge drink, you would just make choices that didn't align with what you wanted. You'd go into that poor mental health of the alcohol come down basically, and then you're always trying to catch up and wondering why you can never catch up.
Yep. Yeah, it does loop around and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Yep. So a little bit of a backstory. So you work at a school? Yeah. How is that for like a teacher to having to, so are you a teacher or
Yeah.
So a teacher having to put on essentially like a face.
Yeah, so you get very good at it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you've got to be on 24/7 and you've got to be this energetic, kind, nurturing person when you're in that cycle of poor mental health. That's the last thing you feel like. It's very easy to code switch, but then I found when I was going home and having to be present with my own kids after doing it with other people's children for 30 days, 30 kids for all day, they, not so much suffering, but I found it a real struggle to keep that kind of facade up. So that was kind of more my motivation behind it, and just feeling essentially like shit all the time, in that self-loathing and wondering why I couldn't get out of it. I knew why, but I didn't have the balls to go and
face that reality.
because it's hard, like in social culture, to go, oh, I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
And people have been amazing. Like all my friends are incredible. And but it's like, oh, it's a weekend, let's go have a beer at the pub. And it's like for ages I was like, yeah, oh shit, yeah, no, I can't. Like I can go, but I'm not gonna sit there and have a sesh or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that kind of says a lot about us with Brody.
Don't even start.
Brody is one of our friends that is doing the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just like, nah, like no more. And then a few weekends ago,
He has a rubber arm.
yeah,
And that's what I'm known for too, have the rubber arm. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. Like, and then I was kind of getting into the point where I would go and like have a big night or whatever. And I don't know if it's just me, but you generally should have a conversation with yourself at about 11 o'clock or whatever. And like, oh, let's pull up or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I didn't have the ability to have those conversations. So I was, constantly in that catch up phase of trying
Yeah.
to feel better.
yeah.
All right.
It is hard. Alcohol is so hard, and I've seen it with Dad.
Yeah.
Like my old boy, he's doing really, really well now. But like when I was a kid, it was just I'd come home and he's like passed out on the couch, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
And like obviously it was never that bad for me, but it was that point of like you drink to you're always seeking something from drinking, and 90% of the time it's to numb something you can't deal with.
Yeah.
So this has kind of highlighted those triggers for me, all that shadow work that now I've been able to work on because I've had a far clearer mind to do it.
It's shit. It's such a horrible thing. Hey, like when you find something that allows you to be comfortable and, like you said, mask that hard conversation that you need to have with yourself. It's easy to fall into a rut and just keep going until, like you said before, you have to stop and have that conversation with yourself and go, come on, man.
And I think like so many people would be able to relate of being in that pattern.
Oh,
because people don't go and drink to obviously go and get on the piss every weekend. It's something else there.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, what was it that you were not running from, but kind of like pushing down?
Yeah, probably just look, it's probably just stuff that's always been there, probably even from teenagehood that I've never really dealt with, things like that. Just a change in life circumstances and working full time was a huge one for me. But obviously just being honest with myself, and that's a good question.
It's hard because like sometimes you don't. It's difficult to bring up, especially in this kind of like with the camera and two random ass dudes. But it's very hard to bring up the things that you carry with yourself in the dark.
Yeah.
And open up about them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, and many people could probably relate, it's just like that self-worthiness.
Yeah.
Like people just don't think they're good enough. We live in a society that we've always got to be on the go and we've always got to be doing stuff, and we compare to social media and go, oh, look how awesome that person's doing. But 90% of the time, again, that's not how they feel. And yeah, I've got to really kind of just sit in it. And when I have those negative thoughts now, when you're in that negative cycle, you get all that information to say why you're a shit person. But when you're in a bit more of a positive mindset, you can kind of have those thoughts and be like, right, you can have that thought, but it's not actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those what ifs.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Damn. That's a nice brief description.
Yeah, you said 30 kids. Does that mean you're like the primary school area?
Yeah.
And I take it your own children are now older than...
No, 7 and 4.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Dealing with 30
Very
kids.
chaos. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So what are some things that you found yourself doing that kind of masks while being a teacher? Because I mean, if you go into class, you have to, like, before you go in there, you go, all right, cool, I need to fucking put a face on, I need to do whatever.
Yeah.
Like what were some of the coping mechanisms that you would find? Yeah, long day at work. Coping mechanisms. That's still wrong. Anyway, yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. Sweet.
Now you get it?
Yeah.
You kind of just don't have time to be like it. You've just, because the day's so full on all the time, you've
Almost like a
just got to,
switch.
you just code switch and you're like, I don't have time for this. basically. So by the time you finish for the day, you're obviously exhausted from putting on that code switch all day. But yeah, it's just then you get home, and I guess you've got to keep doing it when you're a parent because you've still got little people basically depending on
That
you.
rely on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you go at home with obviously your kids
Yeah,
dealing with Derby?
good. Like we're very open, kind of loving family, but it would be when they went to sleep would be the bit I'd struggle with. So in the last 2.5 years, I've gone through separation, and then the kids obviously spend a lot of time with their dad as well. So that was one of the hardest things for me. I was always in this high, everything, there's always something to do. And then all of a sudden, I didn't have something to do when they weren't there. And that was a huge trigger for me because I would just get very anxious and, sit in an empty house and go, like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, go to the pub.
Yeah.
Or,
Boredom.
yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, like I didn't like that being alone. So that's been a huge trigger that I've had to work on.
Yeah.
Right. And then because you're now 75 days in,
Congratulations.
when was
Thank
the
you.
tipping point of it gotten easier now, or it's like harder now? Or...
I think it was actually it was. I don't want to say this. It was hard because I had to change what I was doing. But once I started, and I'm quite stubborn, so once I'd set myself that goal, I'm like, I'm not failing. So it was. It wasn't. I've still gone to the pub with friends, maybe twice. I've turned into a bit of a hermit, which isn't ideal, but it's good as well because I get the stuff done that I should be doing instead of being, masking it or hiding from it. But now it's easy. Like I'm that flat out all the time. I couldn't even think about having a big night and being, hungover the next day.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's what you want. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be fucking drinking. This dude does it too much. You do it too much. I like look at you go out on a weekend, and if it was me, I'd be dead for like 2 days.
Yeah, like
3
that's what it
days.
would take. So you get to work on, and I haven't done it while I've been working full time, but while I was working part time, it would take me that Monday, Tuesday to even think about
Yeah.
feeling right again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do it, mate? What's your secret?
How do I do it? I just get up after a couple of hours and go, all right, I've got a big list of stuff to do, and I just get into it. And then by like, I don't know, late afternoon, I'm like, kind of tired. Time to go to the gym then. And smash some stuff out, and then, rest up a bit. And, I don't know.
What do you think was, going off your question, what do you think was the tipping point of you starting? Or have you kind of always done it? Like drinking?
Not to this level.
Yeah.
But I think because sadly in the night, like when you were growing up as a late teen, it was so, this sounds horrible now, I have my own kids, but it was so embedded in our culture from like, 15, 16, you have a few drinks, you go to a party on a street, like there were no phones.
Yeah.
Your parents, you were like at XYZ's house and they had no idea kind of thing. And so I think it just really evolved from there.
Yeah.
That it was always normal, maybe?
Well, I mean, it has always been from, even when I was a kid, it's always like dad would get home, have a few beers.
Yeah, and it's watching
to
that.
relax.
Like my grandparents were the same. I pop every day at 12, like first can of the day, and you just get used to that, seeing that, and then that's kind of your normal.
Yeah. Well, you kind of look, well, because they're your role models, right? And you look up to them and you go, well, this must be the thing that I have to do.
Yeah.
So then, when you grow up and start going through your own struggles, I'll crack a fucking...
Yeah, definitely.
And then it just leads on into some dark, depressing hole.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah.
We drink it to feel happier, but then like any mental health expert will tell you, and when someone tells you it's a depressant, you're like, oh, yeah, I know. And
you kind of brush it off.
Yeah, and then you're back in that cycle.
Yeah. So have you ever gone through like any type of depression or have anxiety?
Yeah, both. When I was probably, it was a long time ago, maybe like 18 onwards, I went through about 3 years of depression, which I was heavily medicated. And that was a really horrible time, and no shade on like medication or anything, but it just didn't work for me. And back then, like 16 years ago, it was 18 years ago, God. It was, here's a tablet, take it every day, see you later kind of thing. There was no follow-up for any counselling or psych or anything, when now we've progressed a lot further and we
there's a
have
lot
those
more.
avenues.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot more out there.
I took this medication for 3 years and I was just like this numbed out person. I was like, I'm sick of this, and stopped, and nothing had changed. I went straight back into that depressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it help with your depression while you were on it?
I think it just plateaued me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I was just kind of
Robot.
Yeah.
Kind of just took your
Emotions out
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
equation.
Yeah.
Became the perfect
well,
worker.
I mean that's the thing, because my wife went and she had postpartum depression after the first one, and then very badly after the third one. Yeah, I got 3 kids. It's fucking damn.
Living the dream.
Yeah, and she went, because my dad's always been on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti against them. Like, obviously people need them and like all that type of stuff, but we're very big into like movement and the gym, and we know how much it helps. So when she went to, I think it was Beyond Blue, or she went and saw a doctor, they instantly, like without any question, without any this or that, it was like, oh, here you go, here's a script, go get this and you should be feeling. And then she called me up and she was like, so they gave me the script to go get it. I was like, don't, you're not doing it. Like, I will help you through whatever you're going through, as a husband should do. But it was like, it was more me trying to push her to get out of her comfort zone and go to the gym, go for walks, take the dogs.
Get sunshine.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I agree with that too. I had bad postpartum with my first. I had a very traumatic birth, and there was no anything around that. And then, I think it's like 2 weeks after you go to your doctor and they do this little checkbox to see if you're depressed. Like, you lie.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to feel like you're a failure, number one.
It's also shameful too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you're meant to be in this bubble of this newborn when you're more like, what the hell just happened to me?
Fuck this thing off.
Like, my whole life has changed.
Yeah.
And it's just either take a tablet or, there's no, movement's been really big for me since it was probably the last year, but now not drinking, I've been able to get into it much more.
Yeah. So what do? Do you, what's on this one, pole dance? No?
I'm
No
a bit
pole
short
dancing?
for pole dancing. Yeah.
Is there a height?
No.
I mean, if
You
Jazz,
did it.
what the fuck is that meant to mean? I'm not-
Sorry, what were you going to say? You were going to say the same thing.
no, if Jazz was here, she'd probably whip out a pole and be like, let's fucking go.
Have her back pocket.
Yeah.
No, just go to the gym.
Gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gym?
Snap.
Judgment.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah, a
about
little
it.
bit. That's all right. Just any movement is better than nothing.
Yeah.
So, starting at the gym, have you been going since or before you just quit? Yeah.
Probably about
Quit
this time
sounds
last year.
wrong.
How
It sounds like you're got an addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
how have you found like you just have been better at the gym then because of
Yeah,
being,
definitely. Like, you want to obviously go more, especially Saturday, Sundays. Like, I'm always there first thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where when you're drinking, your whole weekend is a write-off. You don't go Friday because you're like, wow, it's Friday, let's go out. And then that's a whole write-off.
Yeah.
Plus the Monday, Tuesday, it takes old people to recover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It takes us a little bit longer than you young
Yeah.
fellas.
Fellas, there's only one of me here.
Fellas. Yeah. Well, Tommy goes hard.
Yeah, but that's because his body is so attuned to it now.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Maybe he should listen to this episode.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it's not ideal to have 5 to 6 beverages every day and then about 40 every day on the weekend.
Fucking Jesus.
But it's good fun. No, it's not. It's horrible.
So, in the gym, Snap,
Mm-hmm.
are you more like trying to lose weight, or is it just something where you can go, yep, sick?
So
let's
every
go.
time I've done something like that, it's to start for mental health, just having that time to myself.
Yep.
But now, no, not really. Like, definitely it's a perk, but just getting stronger more.
Mm.
So,
How amazing is it to know that having just that little bit of like hour or 45 minutes or however long people goes, like once you're in there, your brain just switches off
Yep.
and you can focus on just doing whatever you need to do in there.
Yep.
And then as soon as you walk out the doors, you feel 10 times better.
yeah, you walk in there and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and you feel
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, movement. What I was saying this the other day and I kept fucking it up. Movement is medicine.
Wow. Now
Nailed
you
it.
realise
Did I
how
get it
easy
right?
it is to say.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Smash
You're
it.
on it. Well, with all these things improving, just living and everything, have people like said anything to you about it? Like noticeably being like, hey, like you're doing better
You're
or
shining.
this.
You're glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. At first, people were like, what? Because it was like
Yeah. It's very frowned
a few
upon. Hey?
days before New Year's.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? Like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no. Like, you sure? Yeah.
Yeah. They always go to assumptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone's been really good, like really supportive. Yeah, they have.
Yeah, right. I don't know. You say everyone has been really supportive. Have there been a couple that are just not a fan, or obviously you won't hang out with as much because you're not in that, come over for a beverage or.
No, I think if anything, it's really like highlighted to my friends. Like they've probably pulled back a bit too.
Yeah, right.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
Inspiring other people to do it.
Or I'm just the problem. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that could also be.
Oh, well, if you were the problem, now you're the solution,
Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely. I've had a few friends message me because I have this little app and it like logs how long it's been or whatever. And I chuck it on Instagram every now and then. And I've had about 3 people like, this is awesome. I'm doing it too. So that's really
That's so sick.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling to know that what you're doing is also inspiring other people to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, diving. I would really love to dive a little bit more into like the struggles of mental health that you've been through. So, kids, after the kids, because you said you had a bit of a traumatic
First birth, yeah.
first birth. So how many kids?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Girls or boys?
Both boys.
Damn.
Yeah.
I must have something wrong with me.
Yeah, 3 girls.
Yeah, I got 3 girls. So all of them. I love my girls, so they're beautiful. Yeah. Did you like? What was drinking a coping thing after?
Nah, not then. I was actually I didn't realize it at the time till about a year later, kind of how deep I was into it. No, drinking was never really maybe when he got a little bit older, so about 6 months, I would use that because it's such a mummy culture. It's all like, oh, my kid's all day, I'm gonna have a wine. So I really drank wine, but that did happen. But I wouldn't say that it was like a crutch for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kids can draw you to the point to definitely
They can.
having a few bevies.
They can. Yeah.
Well, I had a question for both of you then, because you're both parents, one mum, one dad.
I wouldn't say I'm a parent, but
Okay.
I'm more of a child with them.
Adult child.
Yeah.
How
So
dare
there's
you?
4.
Yeah, so there's 4. Yeah.
How does your wife manage?
Oh.
What was the toughest part of parenting then? For whoever wants to answer first.
I think the toughest part of parenting for me was watching my wife give birth. As you'll know firsthand, having a traumatic birth experience is horrible. And like we said in Aaron's episode, we're just useless. We just stand there or sit there and do nothing. We can't do anything.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the worst part, like mentally for me. Like physically is just, I mean, our first Macy, when she was like 6 months old, she was constipated for like 9 days on, and then she would shit, and then again 9 days. So it was like once you got to like the 8th or 9th day, it was just crying 24/7. Luckily, we didn't have that with the other 2, but yeah, that was probably the hardest part, like physically, I think, because I wanted to throw that fucking kid out of a window.
Yeah.
And,
And there's nothing you can do.
yeah, I mean, it's terrible to say, but like this podcast is about having all these hard like conversations that you have with yourself up here.
Yeah.
I remember just holding her, just wanted to yeet her out of a fucking door.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I mean, she can't shit.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably the hardest thing for me.
And I think with a man watching a woman give birth, a woman's brain chemistry will protect her in ways, so she won't remember it as clearly. But you guys have to sit and watch that, and like there's things from my traumatic birth that, my brain's blocked out. But then the man watching, they have to just sit there firsthand, and there's no follow up. Like, do you need any support? Because now it's all about this baby. You go home and it's like, cool guys, here's your St. John's baby wrap. Like, see you later.
Yeah.
And you get home and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck do I do now?
And it goes so quick, but in the moment, it's like so slow.
Because you're sleep deprived, and one day you weren't sleep deprived, and the next day you're sleep deprived for 5 years straight. And there's no, there's not really a village like we used to have when, say, I was a kid. Like, I spent so much time at my grandparents' house, and obviously my kids spend heaps of time with my mum now, and they love her. But there's lots of people who don't have that at all. They're in different states in their family, and I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we don't.
How hard that would be.
We don't have that. Like Michaela's parents, or Michaela's dad is in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
Michaela's mum is traveling around Australia. My dad can't deal with 3 kids, especially 3 girls. So it's like we always talk about it, and it's like we have friends that will sometimes take them, but
there's guilt around them, right?
yeah, very
And
much.
You've got to do whatever you've got to do really quick and get back
because you feel like you're a burden. Am I fucking stupid today? Shit. Burden. Yes, you feel like you're a burden on those people and then you're also scared of the repercussions that they're going to go like in the future and say, oh well, I looked after your kid while doing this, so there's that always going on in the back of my mind.
When that's not really true.
Yeah.
All the time. But it's still.
I mean, I've had it like personally happen to me, and I think that's where it stems from.
Yeah, right.
Like you go, oh hey, can you just like watch her for an hour or 2, and then later on it's just like, well, fucking fuck you, I looked after your kid and you didn't even say thank you or whatever.
Doing that again.
Yeah. So there's that always that part in the back of my mind that it kind of restricts me from like letting other people, unless it's like, I mean, we've got friends that have been in our lives and like before the kids were even born, and their uncle and auntie, and they'll always come around and take them, or shout out Auntie Kayla. She always comes around and just grabs the girls and just takes them, and there's no repercussions for that. It's like, oh yeah, I just want to hang out with the girls, and it's nice. Yeah. But there's no, we don't really have that said village.
No.
And
I don't think many people do anymore.
No. Because I think everyone wants to go out and do their own thing.
Yeah.
So then when your kids grow up and they're out of the house, they're like, sick, we're fucking off.
Yeah.
Which is fair. But it is. I remember like growing up and our whole street just knew each other.
Yeah.
I'd ride my bike up to, so-and-so's house and chill with their parents, go through their fridge or whatever, and then come back and then go to the next person's house.
It's crazy.
You probably went out and played with kangaroos.
Yeah, I grew up out in the middle of the station, out in the middle of so it's just like, we walk out the fence. That's as far as we go, and we go back, being
play
child.
with the fence, come back in.
I had a bike and zoom around, but it's like, there's no one nowhere, it's just chilling.
Yeah.
Different life skills too. I grew up on a big farm near Mullawalk. We were always outside, like we're driving cars from 8 and motorbikes and just different stuff.
That's why I'm always so like, I'm very like, I don't mind the kids being on technology, but when it like, especially like school holidays, my wife's like, yep, you can be on your iPad or you can be on the thing, but then they'll be on it all day, and I'm like, I don't like this.
No, yeah.
I don't like this at all. Go the fuck outside and play on the trampoline or something, or let's go for a walk to the park or do something. And it definitely helps with their mental health as well, because they're not just staring at a screen. They can go outside.
Yeah.
It also helps with yours.
I can tell the difference in my kids if they stare at a screen like an iPad versus watch a movie on the TV. I don't know if it's the same with girls, but if my eldest son has played something for a long time and I've taken it off him, it'll just do something in his brain.
Oh,
and it brings
my
out
middle.
that aggression
Yeah.
and that, like, they just can't handle it. It's like being addicted to
Yeah.
something and you're taking it.
Yeah. That
But
was.
they watch a movie on the TV, completely different.
I think because they know that there's like a start and a finish,
Mhm.
and once it's finished, then we're doing something else. But there's that like limitless staring, playing. My middle daughter, she's exactly the same. She'll play on it for, say, we'll give it to her for an hour or so, and then just fucking she'll want to punch her head in for taking it off.
It's a good bribe, though.
Shit. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You've lost it for a day. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it is. Definitely when you need it, especially when you're struggling
Yeah.
to just do housework or fucking do something. It's like, fucking. But it's bad. It's like, I think a lot of parents get stuck in that bribe.
Oh, 100%. Because
they're
it's
like,
easier.
yeah.
And we're all that drained these days because we're all working. We're all doing it all. We're all time poor. And that's just a quick fix.
Yeah. Here's the
Just give
quiet.
me 10 minutes of peace or whatever that turns into 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so you can do the basic necessities like have a shower or clean your house or cook dinner. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Like Andrew Tate again, mate.
Sorry. It's comfy, right? This finger broken. Yeah. What's the weirdest reaction you've gotten after telling someone you're not drinking
You
anymore?
just stop drinking.
It's just like shock. And that like
Oh, what the fuck?
made me really sad.
Yeah.
Because obviously I had turned this persona of this, not always drinking, but always like if someone wanted to go out and have a good time, like, oh, I'll ask Kassie kind of thing. And that it was really, it upset me, I guess. Because I was like, shit.
Because you get known for that, always
Yeah.
there for a good time, always having a fat time. And then when you still want to have a good time, but you're not doing that, drinking part, they're just not into it anymore. And you lose that, I guess, friendship connection where they're always on you. And then,
But then a majority of the time it wasn't a great time. But you're so stuck in that pattern that you're trying to numb something out or turn something off or, And if anything, I've probably noticed, my friends always joke about it and we don't joke about diagnoses and stuff, but ADHD, and I've always been quite high functioning. And since stopping drinking, it was a good mask for all those behavior traits that I showed. So now they're really coming out. And now I'm having to find new tools or new ways to deal with those because I get very overwhelmed easy and I forget everything and I mess shit up all the time. Like my whole class knows, oh yeah, she's really forgetful. Like it's just, so now I've got to go and find different ways to manage that.
Yeah. Yeah, ADHD. I think we all have a bit of that.
I think it's the world we live in too. We're so pushed into it that we've got to be doing all these things all at once. Our body's not designed to do that.
You definitely have ADHD.
I'm just an absolute weapon is what I am.
This dude, I'm not even fucking kidding. This dude will have like 500 things on the go and then be like, nah, cool. I'll just quickly duck into the gym. What the fuck? We're
So he's
finding
I do
time
not
for this.
get overwhelmed. I do that, and then I'm like a squirrel going around, and then I mess everything up, get overwhelmed, and procrastinate, like just shut down.
Tell us. This is a question for you. How do you deal with so many tasks at once and not crumble?
Not crumble.
What a good question.
Mostly because I have a strong urge to be the best of anyone ever. And so I will say, nah, we're going to do it and we're just going to do it the best we fucking can. And it just kind of, fake it till you make it. It just works. I'll just be like, all right, that's cool. There's no, I don't know. I'm not like a hell stressful person. Like, it's like, all right, this is going. It's like, all right, well, I can only do it this fast and it's getting done. Like, there's no point like stressing about, oh, I've got this later. It's like, what's the point worrying about it now? May as well worry about it when it happens. So I've kind of just take it bit by bit, not really stress, just keep it going and just go, yep, cool, work on it or get to a delay. Oh, can't do that. Oh, well, tough, move on. Just, I don't try to dwell on things. I just, take it on the chin and keep going. Just, fuck.
I think the thing that so before Rob's episode, I was pretty stressful.
Yeah, you were. Always. You're always stressing.
Not anymore. I'm chilling because I break my day down into like increments, right? So not to the point where it's like
Step by
fucking
step.
micro movements, but I'll
Nothing like ticking something off the list.
yeah, like I can I now if I have like something to do or if I've got multiple things to do, like for today for instance, we have to or I was looking into hiring out we are hiring out a studio in Perth for some guests. And as well as that, as like find some stuff for my car that I need for work, and then also calling the customer and also doing this and it was just like a lot of things at once. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll just do this one first. I'll do this because I was driving as well. So while I was driving, I was doing, you shouldn't do stuff while you're driving. Just
You were making calls.
I was just making
You got
business
the new
calls.
fancy car, mate. It's all on the screen.
No, I was in the van.
You were in the fancy van
I
with
was
the
in the
screen.
fancy van with the screen. Yeah, so like breaking things down into like sections and then completing that section task really helps.
Yeah.
Especially like when it comes to the podcast, like I'll come in here and I'll be like, okay, the camera needs to be on. I need to check to make sure all the audio is working. Do we have questions for the guests this time? No, we fucking did not.
We're getting there.
But yeah, no, it's just like definitely breaking stuff down. But yeah, I know what you mean because my wife does the same thing. Like especially housework.
Yeah.
Like housework is like I need to do dishes, I need to empty this, I need to do this, and then she'll get overwhelmed and lay in bed and scroll on TikTok.
Yeah, like you walk in the door and you're trying to do the dishes, and my 4-year-old, he turned 4 yesterday, he's like, where's my Paw Patrol? That's this one specific one out of the 800 Paw Patrol he has. And I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
He wants that Paw Patrol
He
now.
wants it. Yeah, and he won't leave you alone until he gets it.
And then you hear the whole toy room dump out and you're just
What's his name?
Clay.
Happy birthday, Clay. I don't
The other
know
day.
if we watching this, but happy birthday, big man.
It's probably like a week and a bit late, but
Yeah.
it's there.
The thoughts there.
I want you to ask your famous question because you didn't do it on your last one.
I didn't ask. Yeah, you're not right.
Because
Burn.
yeah,
You're
what's
supposed to
Bert
remind
doing?
me. God damn. All right. 5 things to improve your mood. What would you do? Could be anything. Something you do, something you take, something this or that. Like just 5 things.
Being outside.
Yep.
Movement. Water. Hydration, but also in the form of ocean or pool, swimming.
Nice.
Connecting with people.
Yep. That's a common one.
Music.
I like those answers.
They are
Okay.
very. I think all of them, at least one of the guests has said,
I don't know about
not hydration. No, I don't think many people care about their water intake.
It's life changing.
Yeah,
Try it.
but
See this thing on the
yeah, that's a lot of water.
hefty.
Yeah.
I've actually got glasses at the moment because I left my water bottle at Mum's house.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hopefully dog
That
training.
your water bottle's fucking disgusting though.
No, not that one. That one blew
Oh.
up.
Okay, good. About time.
Oh, wait, no. That other one with that lid.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, it still exists. I think you're talking about my work one. Actually ran it over.
No, you need to get rid of that fucking thing. Well, Kassie, I think unless you have anything else that you wanted to say, JP, have anything else you wanted to say?
Third?
Got anything you wanna
She
say?
said, She?
She.
What the hell?
ground.
Can plants change genders?
Don't. We will not go down that
Yeah,
path.
let's not go down that path.
well, I just want to say thank you for coming on, and
Thank you for having me.
yeah, it's right. How would you rate your experience?
10 out of 10 on TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor.
10 out of 10.
On Trip, we should get a QR code so people can
Oh
scan
my
and put
God.
5 stars.
That's amazing. Let's not.
Do you follow us on Spotify?
No, just on
Cassie.
Instagram. I mean, yes, now.
Yeah.
And what is the Spotify that they can find us on?
What, the name?
Yeah.
Intersect Pod.
And then
The fuck?
the other ones?
Oh,
you know how
are
you normally
trying
ask
to-
me?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
Okay.
backwards.
Well, it's not gonna work because I know them all.
And?
So maybe I should ask you to do it.
Sorry, the cogs are not spinning fast enough.
Well, so yeah, unless you don't have anything, no, and nothing from Fern, we're good.
Yeah,
You're
no,
a
we're good.
fucking idiot.
We're good.
So, thank you, Cassie, for reaching out. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your story. Sorry we weren't that prepared.
Neither was I.
I was trying something different, but
We don't want to feel like an interrogation. It
Yeah.
needs to be like a conversation.
just a
which
normal
it is.
convo that you just flow along with it, and then it just flows to wherever it fucking flows, right? And I guess this is just about opening up and talking about your stuff. So hopefully, coming on here has helped.
Definitely not going to go home and have a drink if that's what you're wondering.
Well, I hope not, because you got to get to 102
Yeah.
at least. But yeah, if you guys can jump over to Spotify, Cassie, make sure you jump over to Spotify and give us a follow. Also, you can rate us on 5 stars there as well.
Okay.
And if you do that, that helps us out a lot. Also, jump onto YouTube, the Intersect Podcast. Go give us a follow and a like and a comment, or just tell JP that he's fucking going bald. Either one, we don't mind. I would prefer the JP going bald one. But also, if you have any stories, jump over to your whatever Hotmail fucking account that you have and send your stories. I really butchered that, didn't I? Send in your stories to intersect.pod24@hotmail.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
That's good. Good
Yeah.
ending. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and see you later.
Bye. Thanks, Cass. That was awesome.
Are we? No, I can't think.
Oh, we haven't done it
I
for a
can't think.
while.
I don't know what. All right.
On the spot. Come on, big man. You can think on the spot.
Welcome to Extra Credits.
Welcome to Extra Credits.
All right, Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
What made you choose green today? Top for wearing.
Because I told my friends that my favorite color was turquoise, and they bullied me into saying it was green. So now I wear a lot of green.
Oh,
Victim of peer pressure.
yeah.
Literally.
Damn.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
4'11".
Oh,
Holy shit.
oh my god.
I didn't think we were below the 5s.
Well, my whole life I'd told people I was 5 foot nothing, like that.
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And then one day I was like, in the last 12 months, I'll Google it. 4'11". 4'9".
4'11".
midget.
Oh, so what are you? What is it? Do you have is there a term?
So what are you?
Well,
A
4'9",
human, maybe?
what is it? Legal midget is 4'9".
Apparently.
That's big midget.
Is-
4'9". I thought they were like 3 foot.
Well, I mean, probably
That's
majority of them
dwarf
are.
spec, I think.
Yeah. I think midget's actually not a good saying to say.
But it's legal.
No, the height is legal. The name's not.
Derogatory.
Well, I
What do you
don't
mean?
know
What
if it's
height
not.
isn't legal?
Yeah, derogatory. I cannot speak today at all.
I can tell.
And another question for you.
Oh, God.
What shoe size do you wear
6
in kids?
women's, but I can buy kids shoes and they're cheaper.
That's a win.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, you can't really complain about that. But is the quality good, at least?
Yeah.
It is good.
Like you can go into like JB and buy kids sneakers
Oh, right.
and they're cheaper.
I was thinking like
You can
fucking
get the fancy
sandals.
features too. Light up ones.
Yeah, the fucking roller skate ones that you just pay.
Heelys?
Yeah, Heelys. All right, cool. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for coming on, Cass. You've been amazing.
No more extra.
No more extra credits.
We're not doing extra credits either.